very few players, city players from New Haven or Hartford, ever went to UConn during those years. What do you make of that? They just didn't recruit.
Yeah, they did not recruit. No, they did not recruit. No, and in fact, there was a big controversy.
Right, I remember that
with me. And I said, hey, we had great ball players in the state of Connecticut, not just at Wilbur Cross High School, because I felt that if they would take Bob Nash from Hartford Public, who was 6'8", later played in the pros.
He went to Hawaii and then
right. And I said, if they would take Bob Nash and Alex Scott and Clint Davis, you'd have a nucleus of a good team.
Saulsbury should be in the Hall of Fame. His accomplishment, his record, and the teams. He should be. And he's from Connecticut. Springfield, right down the road. So I mean, he got a good chance to get in there. And he has good people like Dale Brown and everybody pushing for him. But he's a great person. He's been a friend, a mentor. I go see him all the time. Real good person.
I always respected his teams in that, we always had to face them to get to where we wanted to be, and unfortunately, they came out on the top most of the time. He just seemed like a genuine person that cared about everyone, well-being, and he was just a wealth of knowledge about basketball, obviously, but he cared about things more deeply than that. I loved his demeanor. He was never a degrading type of coach, in my opinion. He just prepared his team. They went out and they played hard for him. And as an opponent, he showed respect. He was just a great human being that coached basketball.
What was their thinking?
No,
but I mean, was it a racial thing?
Racial thing.
Racial thing?
Racial thing.
Yeah.
Not anyone like that.
He was more than just a coach. He was like a father figure. There was a lot of players on the team that didn't have fathers. So he was that father figure to them. And he would come into our neighborhoods to visit the students, to see where they lived. You would always hear Coach Saulsbury's name ringing in the community. And that was a plus. People respected that. And we knew him as a coach too. And we loved him as a coach, and we probably would do anything that he asked us to do, which is what made us successful.
It's so unfortunate this whole society is the way that it is. And to me, I don't know your affiliation and what do you think about Trump, but Trump has not helped. Not helped. A
real division there.
And so anyway, like I'm always trying to say to my players, it's not so much wearing ties and having your hair cut is going to make you play any better. No, not at all. But it's the idea that people will look at you differently, and they won't think that you're a typical hoodlum. I would tell my players, you're hoodlums, you know that, and you like to be like you are. So I'm going to clean you up. And I said no.
Robert Saulsbury, Hall of Famer. Not just as a coach, but as a person. He is one of the sweetest men I've ever known. He and his wife Eileen were two of the people who, they mentored me when I grew up. Of course, it's legendary that Red Verderame really set the stage for him. He took over, and that was an era where you had Red Verderame, you had Sam Bender, you had great basketball coaches, and then he came along at a different era. He came along in an era where it became nationally competitive for Wilbur Cross basketball. And I watched, he made his kids wear coats and ties to school. He made his kids dress up. He made his kids approach the game not just as players, but as young men who had to represent Wilbur Cross High School. And wherever they went, whether they were on the road or at home or New England basketball championships, he made sure that they represented Cross in a positive way.
Yeah. What about the Invitational? What does it do for the city? What does it?
No, I mean, obviously, just keep his legacy alive, but also it's just a great day of basketball. No better way to honor Coach Saulsbury is to have a day of basketball, because that's what he did. That's what people are known for. But the fact of the matter that he was also a great community man. He was a special ed teacher, served New Haven for years in other capacities. And so I think keeping his legacy alive is a testament to the folks that he impacted so long ago, who are still kind of in touch with him, making sure that this tournament runs. So we love to be a part of it, and we'll always be a presence there.
He cared about discipline. He cared about kids. He cared about their families. He cared about what would happen to them after they finished playing at Cross. He tried to help them go to college. If they needed a job, he'd call up somebody and say, look, this young man needs some help. Give him some help. That's Bob Saulsbury. Bob Saulsbury, I mean, I don't care what Hall of Fame you talk about, he belongs in it.